Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Man stands ready.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire
Soul Warlord.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
战斗沙门。
5 seconds remaining. 'Radiant team pick.
Shadow Demon.
'Dire team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
Gyrocopter.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Timber spirit.
You may now select your heroes.
That's right. Major ticket up for grabs here. Ninja Pajamas just one game away from being able to punch that ticket.
Prepare for battle.
They're doing it off the back of another gyrocopter. Blitz. Nip is doing one of those things we often see like top tier 1 teams do, which is, hey, we've got this concept, beat it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old VP strat. We're going to first 2 troll mag every game. If you can't beat it, that's your problem.
It's not on us. You either got to ban it or counter it. And the mid for Fada returns once again with the ace safe lane carries. We're going to head into the game. We're already going to have some early action here as the teams clash in the mid lane. Once again, Nip trying to go for some early sneaky 5-man play, I guess, to try and get first blood somewhere. Sirius did something similar with a smoke of their own.
30 seconds to battle.
Do you agree with the panel though, Blitz? Do you feel like this is in the bag for Nip? Sounded like they really liked their draft and basically said that Sirius did not do enough to counter it.
I think that Sirius has a better chance this game than they did in the previous one.
Why is that?
I think that the Nyx is a pretty good response. Like, you can just walk into the call down. You have like 8 different ways to trigger the Carapace before he can get his BKB off. I think Darks here has the potential to be a pretty good hero in this game too. Plus they have Wyvern to counter the Sven.
Soxa. They managed to trade 2 for 2. Let Soxa get they stole away his bounty rune. But in return, they get a lot of damage onto him. Not quite getting the first blood or anything, but still.
It's one of those interesting things where I think both lineups counter each other again. I really like this, like the tactics matchup on both sides right now.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a lot of unconventional stuff. Like, theoretically, Gyro should get countered again by this Ember Spirit.
Hey, you could see that from the 3% Gyrocopter mid lane. Definitely unconventional. Haven't seen mid Gyro in too many metas.
The wild part is that they just thought of this, right? Like, we haven't really seen that from NIP at all.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, well, we're going to do it twice to you in the final day determining our future. Because they really they want to go to the major. This is one of their last big opportunities before TI to make a mark.
Nip will manage to get the sentry onto the Sand King's lane, countering Sirius' sentry, so they should have a free time with Sandstorming. Top lane, Tianming just getting as much damage onto Peter Pandam as possible. The Ion Shell, they've got one of those classic duos where they're just going to be cutting creep waves, but a Sven can deal really easily with this, and that's why Ninja's Pajamas were willing to 1-2 it. It's so nice and early. Just feels like Sven, you can't really go wrong with this hero. Strong laning phase, great carry potential, gives you good team fight as well between the Warcry and his ability to play the front line and initiate for the rest of your allies. especially a hero like Gyrocopter, who's naturally going to be a bit squishier, more of a glass cannon hero. We saw Fada actually scaled really well last game. I was surprised how well he was able to scale up. Managed to get the Aghanims and Maelstrom, so his right clicks did a lot.
Yeah, he got that Atos.
Yeah, the stall up at the Atos I thought was going to just kill his damage, but...
I thought so too, but I mean, it made it real easy when Sirius just kept stacking up for Sven stun. Ace would clear house. I thought Fada and 33 were the MVPs of last game, though. Especially 33. People don't realize how important being able to counter-initiate every single time is. It means that he up at all times. He didn't waste anything.
Playing underneath the Sandstorm with this giant creep wave. 33 is going to try and get as many counter-penalty hits and will stay alive, as even the whirling axes coming out from Siler is not enough to claim the counter kill. So 33 gets first blood.
You saw what happened there too, right? He made sure to kill the creeps because he knew that he'd hit level 3, get his burrow strike in. Because if he doesn't, and he doesn't get the stats from that too, he just dies.
Yep.
That was so well done.
Very nicely played, Siler. Just trying to get a little bit of vengeance and chase back these heroes. The 33 has already pulled another creep wave. Peter is also trying to stop some pulling shenanigans, but it looks like he is going to be punished for it, as Tianming's just going to stay on top of him with the Ion Shell, and eventually he'll die.
Gets the last click onto him. Firefly looking for...
I like how he opts to take that last hit, too. He doesn't give it to the Darkseer, who had the Ion Shell on him. He's like, nah, I need this last hit faster to be able to get boots first. But as we said, the Sven is still going to free farm. He's 24-4. Mid lane, 23-7 for the Ember Spirit against the Gyrocopter mid. Now, this is something that you could say that Series did do better than they did in Game 1. Obviously, with the last week Gyrocopter coming as complete surprise, Series going to Game 2, have a better idea of what to do, and this Ember Spirit seems to be, at least for the laning phase, a good response. He's got a much larger CS lead. I'm presuming he's a hero that can pressure the Gyrocopter going into the mid game pretty well, as he can kind of get on top of you.
Yeah, and more importantly, like, they have multiple ways to get on top of them.
Yeah.
Like, they have... this time around, there's not an Omni, so the counter initiation potential isn't like as strong. But that's why I think the SD was a pretty good pick. It serves like a similar purpose. It just takes you a little bit longer, and you're gonna have to question what you're doing. Soxa gets rooted for a second. Slowed up pretty hard here. They want to get this kill on him, and pops the clarity to try to get Soxa to turn around. Is gonna clip him with the axes, and he doesn't
get the kill there. But at the same time, they're trying to go on an Ace, diving him with the double Ion Shell and just walking at him. Not enough. In July, actually having so many Shadow Poison stacks here. It's only level 1 Shadow Poison, so it'll do like a healthy like 400 damage or something, but probably not enough to kill. If they got another Stormhammer in or something like that, 5-minute bounty runes are up, so In July can play for getting a regen for that.
Just be dead.
Yeah. The Ion Shell on him. There is going to be a Stormhammer, or Ace thought about throwing at the Stormhammer. He could have tried to get it out there and see if Peter could get the distance away from that Ion Shell, but not the case here. Sox actually stealing away In July's bounty rune back over to bottom lane, where 33, because we have Soxa at top getting the bounty runes, 33's been left alone, and they're trying to take advantage of that, but once again, they just fail. So close, and yet so far away. Back over to top lane, where ASD is going to make his first rotation. And nice little tree plant there from Soxa, but honestly, I don't know where you were going to go from there.
Even eats a tree out of spite, as we see Ace go for the Midas. 4.5 faster than this patch average.
Yeah, most are going Midas first, no boots.
2 seconds slower than this patch's fastest. Not bad at all.
So what does this tell you? The fact that he's literally rushed Midas the fastest you can possibly rush a Midas.
That he's really farmed. He's out of a free lane.
How about the fact that it feels like they're going to need Ace to really pull out the hard carries. We're going to watch 33 here in this bottom lane. Probably dies to dust. Just was barely about to wear out. And he could have survived because they didn't have a sentry around that area. But
what it really means, though, is I think he wants to scale harder in this game.
Yeah.
And because of the heroes that he's playing against, I think he has to. Like, he needs a BKB plus other items in this game. Like, he's going to, at some point, get, like, a Bloodthorn so he can get on top of these two supports without having to pop his ulti every time.
And that goes back to what you were saying in that the Gyrocopter's more heavily countered, therefore Ace has to pull more of the load this game.
I think the gyrocopter is more heavily countered. I think the Sand King has an alright game, but when you have two melee cores and you've got this gyro who sort of functions in the same way as well, I think you have to scale a little bit better than you normally would. And Ace has shown he can do it. Like, Ace is a very good traditional one player, I'd say.
Also, like, the Zeus was a cool idea to counter the Sand King 3 position, but I feel like Nyx's Assassin is by far the best hero out there. That you just run into the Sandstorm with Spike Carapace on,
for sure,
and then pop the dust. He's stunned long enough of you to get the impale. They're going to dive Peter here, the top lane. They did get the important hero out, though.
I really like that move by Ace. He just got out of there. He's like, there's nothing for me here. ASD will eventually rotate up, and that's the thing about Darkseer is you will never leave that lane until you take that tower. And everybody knows when you play against Darkseer that's the case, because Darkseer, he wants to push in that wave at all times and threaten your tier 2. You don't want to just go up there, start moving around the map. You can't really team fight without items as well. Like, you need to clear up that space so that you can also Ion Shell and hit these jungle camps.
Yep.
It's like a twofold thing. So Ace knows that, and he makes the rotation out because he's thinking to himself, well, somebody at some point will come up here to try to kill me. They leave PPD up there in case that's not what's happening. And if he can get like a level out of it for like 2 minutes, it'll be worth for him to stay up there. And Ace doesn't really care about having to hit the jungle, which is why they're going to send PPD back up here.
Peter could even just pull the creeps off the tower a couple times. That would be a big win.
You're seeing it right here where the Darkseer actually going through the jungle and
will be able to catch him with the chains. Peter turns around, gets the disruption off. But another jump forwards, and ASD should be able to get this kill. Peter's just going to try and get as much damage as possible before he dies. And the Sand King's actually coming up now to defend that safe lane tower. So as Fada rotates down to bottom, try and pressure the enemy safe lane, they're simultaneously going to try and defend their own. Nip do not want to give that tower advantage to Team Sirius, it seems.
Yeah, people are getting a lot better about defending this tower. While simultaneously not losing too much. But I do think that should have been an easy tower for Sirius. Like, you just skip the wave with the Darkseer. You skip the wave, your 4 creeps are on top of the tower. You'll take it real quick, maybe in 2 creep waves max. But instead, both of them opted to hit neutrals. Yeah,
they were being like, I guess it was extra farm efficiency, but slowed down their tower push, which just means these heroes are locked up here for that much longer.
It means that ASD doesn't necessarily feel comfortable making any sort of rotations out.
He does have his own dust. Love it when cores do that, and it's going to result in probably a kill on 33. He's going to Burrow Strike through the 2 of them, go for the epicenter. Now, ASD is low enough. He has to play back. They're going to try and still burst in 33. They will be able to get that kill. Fada with the rotation over. With Doxa getting in the shackles, they will be able to kill that Ember Spirit as well. So 33 defends the tower and manages to get himself traded 1 for 2.
And this is what happens when you don't take the tower when you do have the opportunity. And this is going to allow Sven to continue to bulldoze his way to the top of the net worth charts. They're going to secure 2 of the bounty runes for themselves. They save this top tower. Sirius being just a little bit too sloppy and a little bit too greedy right now.
They certainly paid the price.
It means despite having the early kill lead, the actual net worth goes in favor of NIP. They got the turnaround kills, and they're falling into the classic trap of consistently just trying to kill PPD.
Yeah. And Peter, he's pretty comfortable with this one. They will be able to get this light change to finish him off. Now, the Ember Spirit shouldn't die to just 33, as he still had that Flame Guard going, protecting him against a lot of that magic damage. Top lane, Tianming, while they were doing that double farming situation where they didn't take the tower, Tianming was sitting mid lane, and he got a lot of solo experience, and now he's level 7 after using the Tome. They're going to go in with the Ion Shell, try and burn Fada out a little bit before he realizes it. Now make the jump with a Spike Carapace off of that great flag cannon. That was a beautiful setup from Sirius. That will result in at least 1 kill here. Saksa may have to just fully retreat out of lane, especially with Sylar here. Sirius, they mean business. They want to take this tower finally.
Yeah, Fada just didn't really think about it for half a second.
Yeah.
Tianming was on top of him and didn't really notice he was just getting burned out. I will say that I would like Sirius to just hard commit, take this tower this time around. They have to anticipate this move at bottom.
And Firefly trying to play the Peter role earlier, where he's another 5 position that can spam spells.
Yes, your job here is just to delay.
Yeah.
And they're going to go for the dive here.
That's why they root all the way around, but Firefly, he's able to fly into the trees. If he gets over this little bit, he crashes down to earth. He's going to knock some of the trees down, but he may still be surrounded. They're going to have to cut through another round of trees, and Ace will do it with his quelling blade. Finds Firefly, but that was long enough. That was long enough, certainly, for In July to be able to come in and defend, especially if ASD is going to go for the fast kill onto 33. Not so fast, though, and 33 will be able to get off the epicenter, doing a lot of damage on the first strike, and ASD is almost bridged down, and there it is. Ether shock from Stoxa will be able to get the kill. Jian Ming coming in, really wants 33. He saw how low he was. They already committed 2 cores to try and get that kill. This is twice now that 33, with his early Veil of Discord tanky build, has caught Sirius by surprise. And he's traded his life, or in this case, just his HP bar, for a couple of kills.
And really surprised that they decided to rotate in for that, too. But PVD is getting trailed right now by Tianming, but with the rest of his team actually pushing forward quite far away, and this should be a guaranteed kill on the captain of NIP.
What did you learn?
Again, forced a lot of rotations. Not sure if that death was really necessary, but all the other ones had a purpose. So.
Yeah, the other ones I think were fine, but that one was kind of the most egregious one. CC Fada once again going for that Atos. 33 deciding to pop the trap for himself. He's going to be the one to push out the top lane. If you are an offlaner, you almost exclusively want to play the unsafe part of the map. Unless you're some sort of core that has a really quick mechanism for farming, like Anti-Mage, for example, or Naga. For the most part, just for danger purposes, it's hard to get ward vision up here on the side of your supports, and you don't really want ward vision up here anyways. It's really only protecting 2 camps, so the better thing to do is send your offlaner up here, have him push it out. Overall, it's just safer.
Dire's middle tower is under
because
attack.
people will try to connect to this top lane. If you just look at where the relative ward vision is, you have one really deep ward on this top side for Sirius, and you have this bottom defensive one, which is just meant to protect when people do come in for the jungle. But I think the one that matters more is that one at top.
Yeah.
For when they see the rotations in from the Sand King.
Structures are fortified.
33 has already shown himself to be slippery now. They are going to be able to get the chains on Afana. Now, this is a super heavy stat build, and I don't think they fully expected that. A great Winter's Curse that is going to get some damage from Ace on Afana, but the Warcry protects against most of it. Yasing has another Spike Carapace up. Second time as well, 6 charges, and the Cold Embrace, forgot about that one as well. But it looks like now both supports are going to die. 33 managed to catch Firefly with the epicenter, and Nyx Assassin was just a sitting duck.
You saw Roshan almost take that kill when he slammed on the ground. NIP, I think, have a very comfortable lead, especially because they've taken the mid tower, they've taken the bottom tower, and they are consistently killing cores as well. But they do have to worry about this troll.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about old Sylar. He has a diffusal blade now after his phase boots double wraith ban.
I think Sirius should just look to fight. With the type of heroes that they have, once you get this Maelstrom on this Ember Spirit, I think you just look for pickoffs. You bring your troll in, he's relatively strong at this point.
I mean, it's got to be a bit concerning. They don't know this, but Ace is up 2,000 net worth right now over the troll, trying to steal away that bounty rune. Does manage to get a Spike Carapace turnaround, but needs his allies to bail him out. He actually is going to go for the Vendetta and another Impale up in 8 seconds time, but honestly, it looks like 33 should be able to get away. He can burrow strike at any time. Actually goes for the Sandstorm with the Nyx Assassin right on top, and that means they will be able to get the chain stunts to bring him down.
A bit of a curious decision.
Yeah.
Because he knew that the Nyx was on top of him. Made it really easy for him.
And now, off of a pickoff like that, that is their best tower defender. Go for the mid tower. Try and even things out. Yeah,
you want to group up at this point and fight if you're serious. You don't want the status quo to continue, and that's why Ace is up here. He's going to front line.
But the long range hex caught ASD by surprise. A great Winter's Curse, as well as the Cold Embrace, may be able to save ASD here. He's going to be able to slide immediately afterwards, try and jump away to the remnant, but he's slowed down by the Curse. He runs straight into has another remnant up on, is almost dead, but he gets away from the Ion Shell. Sylar, now Sylar's being controlled. Stoxa has gotten like 15 seconds of disable in this fight alone, and they successfully defend their tier 1 tower while managing to pick up 3 kills, no deaths.
Fada's telling his team thanks, and he should. They bailed them out of a sticky situation there. And another overcommitment from Sirius, especially ASD jumping in like that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's way too over-aggressive.
I understand he may not have expected the Ether Lens already from Stoxa, but he can't be playing forward and close to Ace.
Yeah, because The issue there is it splits up the rest of his team.
Yeah.
It makes it really hard for them to concentrate their fire. He's a large portion of their magic damage. It's when you have this like strongman syndrome, you're like, oh, guys, I can just go in. I've got a mobility spell. It makes me invincible. He had the same issue when he played the Storm Spirit.
Oh, I thought this was the game.
I thought this was the game to get the level 15 Stormhammer dispels enemies talent.
Yeah.
Because you've got Surge and
the Dark
Flame Guard.
The Darkseer one especially
would be hype.
Yeah.
But instead he's just going to go for the pretty typical 30 movement speed. Sylar getting caught out at bottom lane. Oh dear. Their hard carry was already way behind the Sven. And at this rate, Sven's going to hit this gigantic mid-game window where he's going to be 2 or 3 shotting people, and people like the Troll, who's so dependent on his battle trance for his survivability, burst damage is a scary, scary threat. Peter going for the D-ward is going to be caught. Disrupt himself, dodging the impale now, is very likely to die, but maybe because of the purge going out, they might be able to get some sort of turnaround as he threw it onto ESD and they caught him again with the Hex coming out from Saksa. This Ether Lens is making the Ember Spirit's life total hell.
I can't imagine these trades are working. 33.
Yeah, they're going to be able to catch Tianming as well. 33 cut.
This is the classic PPD will die for all of these attempts. I think this is like, how many deaths does he have now on the Shadow Demon?
Oh, he's got a lot. 0, 7,
0,
and
7,
8.
but every one of those except for 2, I think, led to kills.
Yeah.
For the side of NIP. The one at top and the one at bottom. But the 3 mid deaths lead to a turnaround for his team. He will gladly take those. And they just keep happening. And now this Sven net worth is honestly unbelievable.
11,000 and growing. Because Sven, he's only getting started. With all this cleave as well as the Hand of Midas, he's just going to get a bigger and bigger lead over the Ember Spirit. They just don't have the same kind of farming mechanisms. He's going to have a very nicely timed, like, let's say 25-minute BKB with all these items. I don't think anybody can fight him at that point. And Nip will just start demolishing towers, getting aggressive wards down, taking map control.
This is the best part, by the way, of having your mid tower. I know I talk about it a lot, but it's the potential to just continuously turn around fights. Like, you have a very easy structure that the enemy team wants to fight around, and you just sit there and defend it. You can sit on your high ground mid and just keep pushing them back.
Where do you like with the mid towers up? I hate smoking, man. Like these sort of smokes, where do you go?
It feels really all-in-ish because you're like, well, if we don't win this mid fight, we have to do it again. And that's the downside here is that you have to do it like 2 or 3 times just to be able to defend it. As you see Sirius, they're all committed to it.
Trying to lead off with the impale to manage to catch him here now. Tianming can't actually go for this because no one follows him up, but also because of the fact that Fada has BKB. He's going to try and turn around some of the damage with the Spike Hairface, but with the BKB of Fada staying on top of this, Nyx and Sass, he's going to be in big time trouble. But top lane, there's going to be a pretty important kill. They can get this on 33, which he's ensnared up by Sylar.
And apologizes.
Yeah, they just let Nip get the kill in mid. Just nobody gets caught. It would have been a big win.
Yeah, that was the BKB used from Fada 2. Yeah. This is an okay gold bounty, but they did trade bottom tier 2 while simultaneously saving their mid tier 1. That is the 3rd fight now that Sirius have lost around that mid tier 1 tower. And this is what I meant about the big advantage of having your tier 1 tower up while the enemy doesn't, is they have to keep banging their heads against this wall. They're going to have to go for the 4th time cap.
Can't you at some point just like have Sylar just backdoor it real quickly?
I think you'd like him to, but even that's pretty dangerous still. They have multiple ways of catch, right? You've got the Sven, you've got the Shaman, and the Sand King. They all have ways to gap close, long range initiations.
And what's pretty scary is that all 3 cores, they just get so tanky. With this Rod of Atos build that Fada has yet to complete, he's still holding on to the double crowns and went for the BKB. But then also the Sand King with the Veil of Discord build, we saw how tanky he was. It just seemed like Sirius were always running out of damage.
I think he may rethink this Atos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, a Rod of Atos this late into the game sounds...
I mean, he bought one like 3rd item last game. It was really odd, but...
It is so good against Darkseer, though. Being able to catch these heroes trying to surge away. They lock down against Ember Spirit. Tianming. Well, up by him managing to, like, take that smoke. The worst thing that would happen is if ASD somehow got caught by Sox's long-range Hex again.
They're connecting to the Sven right now, but I think NIP would like to Rosh before they decide to go for the high ground, as Ace indeed is trying to go for the Bloodthorn, which I think is the item choice this time around. As said earlier on, he needs a way to catch without having to blow his ulti, because they're going to need that for the tower.
22 minutes,
Radiant's middle tower
BKB.
is under attack.
Way faster than my conservative timings, as they're going to be able to take the tier 2 mid, which just grants them more control. The opportunity for a fast pick off on a Firefly, but he comes cold embrace off. This just means they stick around this tier 3 a bit longer in order to finish off that support.
That was the BKB used by Ace. I think they have to go high ground with this now. No, they thought about it for a second, but this top push from ASD is going to force them back. That was the BKB used from the Sven. And this is the upside right now. They're using a lot of BKB charges just for supports. Yeah. Not actual team fights. The situation as
Ace is super separated right now with his BKB used. But no one can join this Nyx assassin. Finally, Tianming runs into a sentry.
And Ace still sticks around. And PPD TP's in just in case, setting up that extra layer of defense for his teammates so he doesn't have to run away. Very generous by him.
There's 50% more net worth on this Sven in the troll right now. Fada certainly looks like he's reconsidering the Rod of Atos. He's got 2,500 gold. Last time he went Maelstrom into Aghanims, right?
Yeah.
We'll see if he holds that same thought process here. Running into the Sandstorm. Didn't really do much for them. Didn't seem to have a great plan to search up. Sylar may be able to run down 33. He does have BKB up as well, so he may want to take this fight. The homing missile's going to come in, but he still slows down. Can't actually catch up to 33. And he's got Blink Dagger, Eul Scepter, as well as Burrow Strike. I'm not sure what Sylar thinks he's going to be able to do here, but now they've overextended themselves. ASD, he's just food for Saksa every single time. Cold Embrace Firefly, he's dead. Troll's going to be run down.
Does have the ulti and he's going to pop it. Try to turn and fight.
They do have the Winner's Curse. Maybe that can save Sylar here. The Eul Scepter actually going down. Might actually kill him. Almost. 33 doesn't quite hit the Burrow Strike, and now the Magic Wand. Sylar will manage to kill the Sand King, but being run down by the Dark Hunter. Fada gets him. And without Sylar around, that just means these supports are food. What in the world was the thought process for that?
I'm not entirely sure, and now Injuly might even die here. He's trying his best to juke. They know which way he decided to go.
They've got Blank on Saksa too, so they're going to be able to catch him.
One more stack of poison. Doesn't quite have the mana for it, but should still be more than enough damage here. Fada's going to get the last hit on it, and genuinely, I think that Sirius, it might be a combination of them being tilted and they're just being very impatient.
Yeah.
They're not really letting the game develop. They're sort of just forcing things nonstop.
A similar problem to game one, perhaps, where it's just like they feel compelled to try and make things happen.
I think they have to in this game, but I think it all comes down to this mid tower. I've stressed it enough, but please, guys, if you're in pub games, this is what happens. This is now the 4th or 5th time, maybe even the 6th time that they've decided to fight around this mid tower. NIP have not just allowed them to get it for free. They've always kept somebody around here, and it just forces Sirius into this impossible situation. It's 25 minutes in, they haven't taken this.
Okay, well, we've got a butterfly already for Fada.
And you can't smoke up, you just don't have the amount of smokes necessary to take this, and you'll just get behind when you lose like 3 mid-game team fights in a row. Yeah. So it puts you into such a rough position. I'm not saying it's unwinnable when the enemy has your mid tower and you don't, but the style of play that Sirius wants to do, where they want to get aggressive, push out lanes, it really hampers that. It really, really, really makes that hard. And this is sort of the downside of their draft, is it so heavily relies on taking the mid tower. They don't have some like late game win condition that makes it so that NIP have to make the aggressive moves. NIP, look at this. They're all just standing around this area. They're like, they'll surely come again. They have to.
As it is, Sirius have reached another timing, another upgrade for them, the BKB on the Ember Spirit, which you could see he really needs it badly. And Saksa has just single-handedly ruined ASD's game, and ASD has definitely been a big bright spot for Team Sirius. He has carried a lot of games for them. Only had a couple of really poor performances, this being one of them. Perhaps that OD game was a bit of a rough one during the group stage as well. And now NIP, smoke's going to break, but they might just decide to go high ground with the wards, and nobody from Sirius is here. Okay, well, they have a glyph. That'll give them some time to get back, but the double damage and Serpent Wards are still going to do a lot as glyph fades. Now, Tianming's going to open up on Fada. They don't have any chains done to follow that. They almost just lost their tower for free there. Yeah. One team defends their mid tower to the end, the other lets their tier 3 almost die. Surprise move. Catches Sirius off guard, and as a result, their tier 3 is only having 180 damage now. I think now is the time that Sirius go for it again. There's no wards up. You know that NIP most likely have to disengage. This will be attempt number 8 to try to take mid tower. The sad part is glyph is up for the dire side too. I mean, they're all hanging around this area. I'd be so confused if I was serious, because somebody's got to make the game plan to go for it again, because there's nothing to do otherwise. What about the whole, like, push out, invade the enemy jungle, like that tier 2's gone, play up in that area, play in that high ground that's close to the mid tier 1? You have to smoke every time you want to do it, I think, because you don't know where the ward vision is from NIP, and it's really easy for NIP to just route you out of there. It's a very short distance. Yeah. They are trying to do that right now, but it also means you're into potentially the enemy shrine area. Yeah, it's not actually active, but somebody might be wondering too why they're not going for this like bottom lane push. And look right now, as NIP are going to get aggressive. Smoke up, push into the triangle. They know where Sirius is at. Yeah, this is the only place that Sirius really feel comfortable farming. They're going to give up the surge to Sylar, but he's already been initiated on with the Burrow Strike, and at least in July, no way to be able to get away unless the winner's first is saved. But Sylar, he can't really go for Fada, especially with that butterfly. Look at the back line, they just 3 shots the Winter Wyvern, sticks on top of, well, he's going to go for ASD. ASD with his BKB activated. 33 won't stop him. ASD, you can see at the end, BKB was terrified of being burrow struck, especially next to Ace, who instead is going to turn for that Nyx assassin kill. Ace Alliance hiding somewhere in the trees. They're going to try and root him out here. 33 goes for the burrow strike, but Ace is saying, this is not the fight we want to take. We're between a tier 1 and a tier 2 with potentially buybacks coming out. Let's just try and retreat, and it'd be unbelievable if 33 actually got out. Fortunately, a good impale coming from Tianming does guess where 33 is and guesses correctly. They have to rush on right now on Sirius. There's no BKBs. No God Strength. You are quite far behind. This is probably the best objective that you can take. This is a real do-or-die situation. They are going to get spotted out by the ward, but I still think they have to make the play. See if they can force out at least the buyback from 33. They're about to have a buyback on their troll, or a BKB on their troll plus his ulti. Yeah. I don't think this is a bad move at all. There's the buyback, 33. Sirius will immediately back up. Still, you force the buyback in that situation without losing anything. Yeah. And if they can somehow win the next fight or get a sweet little pick-off, they can go into Roshan again, see if they can force another buyback. The 30-minute bounty runes, that would be great if Soxa tried to pick it up. But he's wise enough to... Sirius will pick up 2. Bloodthorn almost done for Ace. What's Fada going for after his next item? Straight into this big late-game build. Butterfly into Satanic.
Good use.
A BKB soon for Soxa, who's already been certainly a big thorn in Sirius' side. I do really like that they opted not to go for the Atos on this gyro. Yeah, I think he needed to scale a little bit better. Yeah, because this game is still a bit scary. They've slowly started to run out of BKB charges. Bloodthorn, big item pickup from Ace. Doesn't want to force Ace alone to carry the game, right? Especially against the Wyvern. They have no idea that this is happening. They're going to go trying to get this area first. But you have to smoke every time because you haven't taken this mid tower, but they're going to successfully scan, and they know now. They're running over real fast, Fada. He's just going to run over, drop the call down, get some vision inside the pit. Sylar actually getting bashed up. Oh, no, and now he's been burrow struck as well. The Hex is going out. They need to... It's Cold Embrace. There's already so much magic, and then Sylar's actually going to die under the Cold Embrace.
race. AFC, he's been perched up. He's trying to kill Soxa right now. Can't actually commit for it. Jumps to the other side, but that's where 33 is to be able to get the first strike. Now the homing missile is on its way. He has to dodge it with the flight. If he doesn't, though, he turns around. Doesn't actually get in time. What? He actually ignores ASD to go for the Winter Wyvern instead. He feels like that's the hero to worry about. And sure, he chops down both supports, leaves ASD for the rest of his team. That's all in exchange for 33 and his buyback, a dieback for him, but that's a Roshan for Nip.
That is not a neutral Roshan. That is a biased Roshan. My favorite term of all time. That is so unfortunate.
The bash and the burrow strike.
Oh my lord. Sylar has got to be tilted off the face of the earth right now.
Yeah, and dude, the Winter Wyvern, then Cold embracing him. He's like, I got you, buddy. Then he just dies to magic damage. Doesn't he
was
get the
trying
opportunity
to get out.
battle trans?
He was like, I'll reset this fight. It's not a big deal. Then that happens. It really feels like the world is against you. And fought against the fatigue room right outside the stage.
He's respecting that Sirius could defend this. Does a bit of chip damage to the range barracks, but you could tell from him hitting the range barracks instead of the melee, they're not actually going to commit to this push. They're going to back up, start taking the towers that are in the top lane as well as that shrine, eliminating pretty much any semblance of outer control for Sirius. Now they're just going to have to play a game inside of their base for most of the time.
Radiant's top shrine has
Still trying to work on that butterfly for the troll. And, I mean, it will be a great item when it happens, because there's no MKBs. There is Bloodthorn, I guess, on Ace.
He's going to hard commit it. He's going to hard commit to it, though, without the buyback.
Yeah, well, when you're down 15K and you haven't had a win, I'm not sure if you've really had much of a win in this entire series. It feels like Nip has always had the control and has been shutting you out, both game 1 and game 2. So you gotta play a little risk. Gotta all in. Game's not gonna change otherwise. Tianming, get the pick off on the courier. Get it.
That's the satanic.
That's the satanic.
Nice. It's all the little things, man.
Yeah, especially during this timing window where they had the Aegis. Now they're like, oh, do we wait for our satanic? Okay, well, maybe we just wait for the pickoff on Sylar. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And ASD, he's like, well, shit. My carry's done. He's dead at bottom lane. I got to push out top lane, but 33 might catch him here. They're going to be, oh. That was so close.
He knew he had to go for it in that situation because he saw that he had the remnant up, trying to get the timing.
If he hits the burrow strike, then the homing missile chain stuns into it. Still not sure if they would have killed him, but
yeah, all their lanes are pushed in, but without God Strength and with Shaman Awards. Point. They don't feel comfortable going on either of the three sides.
35-minute bounty runes are coming up. Sirius, or excuse me, Nip are naturally going to be splitting up.
I feel like the way to beat Sirius is just to have some like disengage tool or some reason for them to have to continue to hard commit. So this SD, this Omni, feels really good to play against them.
Yeah.
Because they get just a little bit too over-aggressive and hard commit to these engagements.
Dude, when Sylar kept hard committing for a Sand King that had Blink Dagger, Yule Scepter, Burrow Strike. All three of those were available for him to get away from the troll, and Sylar's still like, I'm going to run at him, guys. I don't know.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Just feels like Sirius has been totally figured out by ninjas in pajamas.
Yeah.
And
this like odd strategy with these heroes that you don't typically see, like Gyro mid, SD support is not that popular, but it works so well against this team. It just means that they have a hard read on this Sirius squad. They played against them before. That series ended up going 2-1, and it was very close this time around. It doesn't even feel like they were the same teams playing. But they're going to play it out. Of course, this determines so much for the rest of the season. This is their last opportunity to sneak in a TI for Sirius.
Double Sea Dragon's going to push into bottom lane. They've got the that can also do some chip damage to the tier 3, so they don't even have to fully commit to any of these pushes. They'll take the rest of the tier 3s eventually with this kind of strategy.
Yeah, they're waiting for the rest of the heroes to connect. PBD can do this all day.
Are fortified.
Bot is here. They're still to push at top lane. They're going to drop the Serpent Wards in mid while simultaneously pushing out bottom lane, hoping the Serpent Wards can deal the melee racks. And if they deal with the Serpent Wards, then Fada might be able to get the range barracks. They're going to pop the glyph. Not backing up whatsoever. Long range Hex, leading things off onto Sylar. They want to try and get that melee barracks down. God Strength heading to the back line. Goes straight for the Winter Wyvern. Get the Bloodthorn on him. He's dead. He immediately buys back, though. They've already lost the melee barracks. Fada dropping a little bit low. He does have the Aegis, though, so they don't want to point him in. They just want to kill him, but keep their distance. They do manage to do that. Will they be able to catch him in the second life, though? Tian Ming's going to try and open up with some sort of spike carapace. Breaking him. Breaking the Gyrocopter. The disruption coming out is going to be able to buy Fada enough time to get off his BKB. Still does not have his Satanic or his now Aghanim Scepter. That's going to be picked up on the courier as they disengage once again.
I'm going to reset a little bit. Don't have the Shaman Wards, no BKB. They use the God Strength too. They do manage to take the racks. They're up 22,000. Just picked up 2 items simultaneously, and without all these big abilities, I think Sirius think they're strong enough to fight right now. They're going to run in.
Wrap in. They do manage to find Ace Birds. Manage to get the stun on him, but Doctor from the high ground. Look at his positioning. He's going to be able to catch Sylar in the back line. They have the epicenter on Firefly. They're trying to get rid of this Cold Embrace and Winter Skirt combination, and 33 just sticks on him. Sylar is released, and he goes for Fada, who has that butterfly, so he's really not taking much damage. And now the Hex on the ASG. The Winter Skirt goes out trying to protect ASG. A great vacuum wall, but the damage, they have none of it. Their heroes are low. Their cores are being chased away. The homing missile may even catch Sylar here as he doesn't have his BKB. ASD pops his, but as it fades away, Saksa once again waiting patiently. Got the Hex. Saksa, stop it. You gotta stop it. He just knocked Sirius out of this tournament, securing their slot to the major team. Niches in pajamas, proving without a glimmer of a doubt that they are the stronger team against Sirius, dominating this series.
That was actually so well done by NIP in this series. I feel like they made very little mistakes. Did they even lose their mid-tier 1 tower? I don't think they did.